I've got some beef with you, and it has nothing to do with interview scheduling.
What?
What up, Fightful fam? Shaquille Majuri, and you know who this man is. He'll light you up on the feet and in Rainbow Six Siege. It is Mike Rodriguez. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, my man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for making the time today.
No problem.
Now, before I forget, because I do literally every time, if you guys want to help the channel grow, subscribe, tap notification bell. It goes a long way, and we really appreciate it. And Mike appreciates it.
Yeah, subscribe.
100%. Now, look, before we get into anything fight-related, I got to be honest. I've got some beef with you, and it has nothing to do with interview scheduling.
What?
I was scrolling through your Instagram, like putting together my questions, and there's this video of you using like some sort of massaging device.
Oh, yeah.
And the look on your face has traumatized me. It has given me nightmares. What is that massage device?
So that's it's one, I forgot the name of it, but it's one of them massage guns. Every fighter knows what I'm talking about. Somebody always got one at the gym, like, and dude, sometimes they're good to hit the nuts, man.
The nuts. Gotcha. Yeah, haven't ever seen one like that before, but looks effective nonetheless. I'll link the video for anyone curious. Now let's talk a little bit about the fight, man. That was huge for you. One thing I think that's been great about and for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, you beat Marcin Prachnio at UFC Vegas on August 22nd, and I think what's been one of the best things for people like yourself in this COVID-y world of UFC fights is it's given a lot of willing fighters the chance to step up onto bigger platforms, right? You got to co-main event underneath Frankie Edgar. That's huge.
Yeah.
For you, what did it mean to not only get a win on such a big platform, but redeem yourself with a first-round KO after losing via first-round KO in your previous outing?
Yep. It felt amazing. More than anything, it felt perfect because like everything in camp went perfect. It was just a perfect happy ending. It was awesome. So that's what mainly stood out the most for me on it.
Where do you go from here? That was such a big win, and it was super impressive too by the means by which you got the finish. Have you talked at all with the UFC yet or your managers about where you go from here?
So I spoke to my manager, and he was asking me things like, what do you want to do, whatever, and I'm like, just book me or whatever. I'm injured free. I took some time. I took this week off. I'll go back to the gym on Monday. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
So is it an ASAP thing? Like as soon as the UFC comes calling, you're down to go?
Yeah, whatever. Whoever pulls out of any fights coming up soon or whatever, I'll fill in.
All right, so short notice, full camp doesn't matter to you at this point.
No.
I'm sure the UFC loves to hear that.
Yeah.
The Contender Series. The Contender Series is something that's become such a big platform for regional fighters. And man, these days they're getting signed like crazy. I don't know if that's based on their performances or if the need the UFC has for quick turnarounds right now. But the original series, the original season of the Contender Series was such a big deal. Like the caliber of fighters they had on there, yourself included. Really set it apart. If you just look at some of the guys who were on Contender Series, Mike Rodriguez, Jeff Neal, Dan Ige, Sean O'Malley, these are genuine stars and contenders that emerged from that show. What are your memories of from being on the original season of the Contender Series?
How what I always talk about is the warm-up room, how so hot it was. It was unbearable. So my season, they held it at the tough gym.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the Apex at the time. So my Joe, my coach, Joe Lozon, he was there for season 5. And he was like, yo, fair warning, that place is so hot. And he also said to me that you won't hear nothing, like everything, you can hear everything. You can hear everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I got in there. And I'm like, holy shit, why did it feels like it's like 30 more degrees than it is inside than it is outside? I'm like, why is it so hot? And even the commissioners are sitting there and they're sweating up a storm. They're like, yeah, you need to do this piss test and blah, blah, blah. But everybody's just sweating up. It's so hot in there. It was unbearable compared to the Apex. Apex is more cooler and everything. Everything's all up to date. That was another thing. That gym is so dated, man.
Well, you know what? Shiny facilities, and Dana White says they're expanding it. They just bought 10 more acres on the corporate campus. They want to put a fighter hotel in there. Pays to be in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Joe Lozon. I put out a tweet today asking, hey, what are some fighters that game? And the first person that was mentioned is Joe Lozon. Is Joe a gamer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays a lot of Warzone.
Okay, cool. Noted. I might have to help. I might need you to help me get in touch for a project I'm working on. But on that note, on the note of gaming, you referenced Rainbow Six Siege in your post-fight interview. I actually saw that there was an esports website that wrote about you and wrote about the interview. What is your all-time favorite Siege player kill? It sticks out in your mind.
Like you said, like my favorite.
Your personal, like the moment that you were most hyped about in your own experiences playing the game.
Oh, I'll probably say when I got that. Was it? I think it was a 4K. It was on my buddy Zeronix. It was on his birthday stream, and we was playing Clubhouse, and I got a 4K on there on PC. That was impressive for me because I'm not that good on PC.
Yeah.
So that was impressive for me.
What do you mostly play on?
Usually, I originally started playing on PS4, but then I switched over to PC. So now I'm still getting acclimated to PC. I'm a lot better than what I was before, but
yes,
man, that was like one of my favorite moments. I think I posted that somewhere on my Instagram.
Yes, yeah. I am a PlayStation 4 unranked scrub of a Siege player, and I would not dare to venture into the world of PCs, let alone ranked.
PC's a whole nother beast, man. A whole nother beast.
I need that aim assist. Tell me about the crossover between esports and regular sports. I remember I was in journalism school, and this conversation came up, and you had some sports fans who were like, diehard gaming is not a sport. And personally, I would agree in the sense that it is not a form of physical athleticism. However, just about everything else, I believe, crosses over. The time you invest into it, the skills, the timing, the precision, the strategy. I think there's a lot of similarities between sports and esports. So what do you think? How do you think they occupy the same space?
No, I agree. I know a lot of pro Siege players, as well as a couple pros who play other games, and the way we look at games is like, oh, there's Mario, there's Luigi, this, that, and the other. The way like the competitors and those esport guys look at the game, they break it down the way we break down fights and sports and everything. Like they'll figure out the numbers of how far certain abilities can go, how far certain things things you can do, like timings, like things of that nature. Just like what we do, how we break down, analyze fights, they do the same exact things with video games. It's literally insane the way they break it down. In fact, somebody in the esport realm should make a video showing how it's like on par to how we break down footage. Like the way we break down footage for fights, looking for patterns, looking for like the way feints work, all of these things, they do the same exact thing with games. It's mind blowing.
Okay, I actually have a colleague at another outlet who works in both MMA and esports, so I feel like that would be the perfect project for him. I'll send that his way.
Like that would be like they literally should have someone do two breakdowns of both things and show it's the same, the exact same, the way they break down things. It's crazy.
Well, and last thing I'd say on this for any sports diehard, and that's the thing, when we call it esports because I think there's an acknowledgement that it isn't the physical kind of competition that soccer, fighting, football, etc. is. But for any sports diehards, I'd say check the ego at the door, because I actually have quite a few friends, including one who works as an esports journalist, who's now gotten into the NBA once he identified the similarities between like NBA and Counter-Strike. So, I think as esports develops, you're actually going to see more crossover into regular sports as well, not just the other way.
Yeah. That's why it was so easy. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you please go. I was about to move on.
What I was saying, like, added to that, that's why, like, when in the interview, that was like, a little plug-in for the C's community, but it's the same concept when you're fighting. You're drawing it out. That's usually the filling out process. Drawing out, fill out process. You're gathering information and everything, taking the intel, seeing what their patterns, what they bite off, and etc. And then you execute.
Have you found personally that your experience as a fighter and game planning and tape setting and stuff has helped you as a Siege player?
And some things, yeah, but some things, like, obviously it doesn't translate over, but some things, yes.
Okay.
That's
really cool.
Yeah.
All right. As we wrap up here, I know you said you're ready to go whenever, whoever, but is there an ideal circumstance? Is there an event or a date or someone in particular that you would love to fight under ideal circumstances?
Just somewhere in October would be great. Like in the middle of October would be fine.
Okay.
So that would be great. In terms of anybody, I don't really care who. I know the one person, not right now, because I think he's already booked. But an ideal world, I like to fight Shogun before he retires.
Why is
he's
that?
The one that got me into the sport.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because I idolize him. Yeah. And I don't even have to fight him. Train with him is fine. I'll be fine with that too. But yeah, it would be cool. It would be really cool.
Yeah, well, I will keep my fingers crossed for you. We can try and will it into existence.
Let's see if we get it.
All right, Mike, I want to thank you so much for the time today. Congratulations again on your huge win at UFC Vegas on August 22nd. I hope we see you in October, and I hope we see you against Shogun eventually.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Fightful.com